us today is George Roach and Graham Hill from Premier Africa Minerals. Thank you both very much for your time. So George, let me just come to you first. So of course we've seen the RNS. It's quite a big announcement. The plant is now commissioned. You've achieved saleable spodumene. So I mean, a milestone moment. How are you feeling?
Yeah, look, we're very pleased, and you're entirely correct. This is a milestone moment. Um, but there are a couple of other very pleasing things about it that are very different to where we were a year or two ago with the plant. And top of the list, and most important, is the relationship with our OEMs. We're now dealing directly, and you can see in the announcement with Enpotech, who are a great professional team. We have a great relationship with them. We've spent the morning with them going through the next steps on the refinement stage of this, the optimization and the extension of this now to deal with the recovery side of this as well, and to get real consistency going through the plant. So we could only get to this when the plant was fully commissioned. Everything operates. Each component talks to itself. The automation is improved. There's a huge amount of good that's come about it. But as I say, top of the list is that we really have an improved relationship with our OEMs and a serious commitment from everybody to now really take this thing through to the next step. So from our perspective, I think we're very, very excited about this.
Good, excellent. Well, Graham, I want to ask you a question now. But just before I get onto that question, just your thoughts on today's news, effectively, and seeing that saleable grade achieved.
Well, I've been living at Zulu for the last 4 weeks. I just came down to Johannesburg on Monday for a couple of days. I'm going back up there to continue the good work that has been achieved in conjunction with the OEMs. And we've got full support from not just Enpotech, but the other OEMs involved as well. In fact, we're actually workshopping the next couple of days with all of the OEMs to make sure everybody's aligned on the way forward and the best way of achieving the way forward to full optimization. We've had great success in the last few weeks, achieving the whole processing plant is now almost operating as one machine. So, a lot of work was done on each individual component and then to make sure it was functioning properly. And now we got all the pieces of the processing plant talking to each other as well to a greater extent. But there's going to be ongoing further work but we can only keep on going upwards from here.
Excellent, good. Well, just on that ongoing work, then it's obviously very important that you've got the grade you want, and it's very important as well that the large trading house, as part of that LOI, are happy with that 5%. But the RNS did say 6.2% is achievable. So I wonder if you could perhaps talk us through the path to higher grade whilst the ongoing production, let's say, of that saleable 5% as we stand at the moment. So I'm just thinking about looking at the roadmap of what's that path to higher grade.
Look, the higher grade has been achieved. I think that the most important issue with that is that as we finalize this optimization, we have to find the balance between recovery and grade and where the most profitable point is. The higher one pushes the grade, sure, the more valuable that spodumene may be, but the recovery will start to drop away. So somewhere there's a balance. And as we have said, and it's quite clear that anything from 5% is saleable. And when we talk about SC6 pricing, and I think I've said this before as well, SC6 is a pricing standard, and one either gets a penalty or a premium depending on the variance around certain specifications. So at 5%, there would be a small penalty associated with the spodumene grade. But if that is free of deleterious materials, then there can be no other penalty. If you are above 6%, there would be a premium. But if there are deleterious materials there may be a penalty. So all of this has to be worked out and balanced off to give us the best return as we go forward.
Okay. At the moment, you've also said that you're not going to proceed with the second float plant. It's not required at this time, but I think the civils were done, so there's effectively scope there for the future if you decide you do want to include it.
Yes, look, we still have obviously the option to proceed with that. All we've said is that let's just stand back a little bit, review everything, make sure we're making a really good decision, and we understand the reasons for making that decision. And the reasons is that, you know, the additional float plant now we believe would be supplementary to the existing float plant, and it gives us a lot of versatility in terms of which way we can go in the future. And that's really what we're looking for here. We can increase production. We can probably look at using it to maybe upgrade, you know, the quality as well as improving the recovery. So it gives us a great optionality. So we're just having a quick review, make sure we know exactly where we're going. We understand the operating parameters for that plant, which are probably a little bit different from what we're being used to. But we're going to make sure we make the right decision at the right time with that secondary flotation plant.
Good, excellent. Well, it's good to see both of you happy with the status and where the production is at the moment. But really importantly is, as was said in the RNS there, that the large trading house, which I assume is Glencore, as announced on I think the 23rd of April in that RNS there, the LOI, they've done that second site visit and they are happy with the product for the purchase of the quality of the product for the purchase of that spodumene. So what happens next then with them, with the other partner, Canmax, there, on you getting the product to market, selling to them, or, you know, them buying it, exporting it, the path to sort of revenue, if you like, and steady income? What are we thinking here, George?
Well, the path to revenue is really relates to the product quantity and how quickly that's going to be produced and be available. And I think it's clear there's already some product at the mine operation that is saleable, is effectively sold actually.
Okay.
So where we go from here really relates to the relationship with Canmax and the trading house. And the LOI, I think, was reasonably clear in saying that the trading house would look to provide an element of comfort effectively to Canmax. Now, it's a negotiation that needs to take place. And now that we are at this stage, that negotiation can be facilitated and it can proceed. So what will happen next is that there will be whatever we have to do. Let me summarize it this way. Whatever we have to do to get those two parties talking to each other very quickly in relation to how we secure going forward and give Canmax comfort, that's the next step. And that we intend to action as quickly as we possibly can.
Okay, good. We can look out for that. And just finally, just to get a snapshot of what's happening on the ground then, operations restarting, mining, is the plant sort of running continuously? What's the snapshot at the moment today, let's say?
Want me to take that?
You take that, it's fine. We can do it together.
Okay, no. The situation at the moment is that this next stage of optimization is complete to the point that we understand what the next steps are, specifically in terms of the further optimization of this. Now, the plant we've stepped back from, it's finished, it's running on Monday morning, I believe. We've stepped back from that for a few days. After extended periods of running, there are certain things that need to be looked at in the plant. We only forecast 22 days of a month anyway, availability. So it's pretty normal that there are things that you look at from time to time. So we step back from that one there. And the process, as I think Graham has explained, of meeting with the OEMs, the further meetings that I think are scheduled from tomorrow, I believe, yes. Graham. There are further meetings with OEMs tomorrow. Those will lead us back to the plant, hopefully within the next couple of days, to get on with what could well be the very final stages of the optimization. And let me just emphasize again that this is an optimization now. This is not a commissioning. We know what each component is capable of. We have the proper understandings. We are fully aligned. And that just leads to a situation where the confidence we have, or that I personally have at this stage in where we are, I think is going to take us forward to a successful and a profitable operation.
Excellent. Well, thank you both very much, George Roach and Graham Hill from Premier African Minerals, for your time. So we'll keep an eye out for some more news in the not too distant future on that LOI and, of course, the operations from site. But for now, thank you for your time.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
If you enjoyed this interview, then give us a thumbs up, a like or a retweet. Subscribe to us on YouTube or follow us on Twitter and hit that notification bell to be the first to know when we release new content. There's loads of great content on our website too, across all our programs at stockboxmedia.com. Thank you for watching.